Hi guys, welcome back to Malik 034 channel. This is Malik Arjun. In today's session, I'm going to explain you how to install Oracle database in GUI mode. Okay, so one of the prerequisites for installing Oracle database that you need to install Oracle binaries or Oracle Home before proceeding with database installation. If you are new to my channel, please request you to refer my previous video where I have explained about how to install Oracle binaries or Oracle Home. So assuming that we have already installed Oracle Home, so I'm just directly proceeding with the database installation. So let's get started. So I'm just giving GUI control to user, log into Oracle user. I'm just going ahead with the checking environment setting. Host name, okay. So user Oracle LD library path, okay, that is set. Oracle SID is set. Oracle base DNS admin, okay. Class path, Oracle home, okay, everything is set. So just to quick verify env grep to Ora, you see db nickname, SID, base, Oracle home, okay. So Oracle environment is set, and then if I go to Oracle home, all the libraries or Oracle home is already set up here, so we are good now. So we are ready to start with the database installation. So today in this session I'm using a GUI mode for the Oracle database installation. So in future session I'm going to use silent mode installation and cloning or there are different methods of Oracle database installation, and there's a manual method also for the database creation. So all these different kind of installation or setup or creations I will explain one by one. So but today this is limited to database creation, the new database creation using GUI mode. So okay, assuming this Oracle home is already set up, so you need to go to Oracle home uh, and bin, and you need to launch DBCA. DBCA stands for Database Configuration Assistant. Okay, so I'm at Oracle home. I'll go inside bin. Okay, so DBCA. Here you go. This is DBCA. So I'm just going to launch DBCA. This in turn launch the GUI screen. So yep, here you go. Database Configuration Assistant DBCA. So once this GUI screen comes up, so you need to follow the installation, follow the setup. Everything is the pretty straightforward. You need to uh, give all the inputs and then go ahead with proceeding with clicking next. So now welcome page came here. So I'll go to the next. So first option, create database option. So configure database option and delete database option grayed out because this is a brand new server. There is no database configuration. If at all there is a database already configured, so these two options automatically will be enabled. So if there is a database already installed, this button will be enabled. You can delete that database using DBC. And if you want to configure some option for the existing database, and this button also will be enabled. So managing template again. So with just to create a template without installing or with the existing database to just to extract the template, this manage template will helpful. So in this session I'm going with option 1, create database. Click next. So I'm going with the general purpose installation. So if you want to show what all the content of this general purpose database, click on this details. You will see all those uh, what are a component enabled, and what are the DB parameters, everything you will see. So not to worry much about this. So click on next. uh, just give the database name. I already decided to go with the devdb, so just give devdb. So if you want to configure the enterprise manager, just click this one and then give all. I don't want to go out with enterprise manager right now. I'll just disable it. Automatic maintenance task. If you want to enable the automatic maintenance task, just click this one. So I don't want to go with automatic maintenance task. Disable it. Click next. So system password. So if you want to go with a different password for system, mention here for both system. If you want to use a system password as same, just use click on this one and pass the parameter. Sorry, pass the password whichever you want to use it. So click next. Okay, so the storage type, if you are going with the some raw device or rack or ASM or some SAN or NAS, like whichever the file system storage, so uh, that has to be first converted into raw device, and then on top of that you have to install ASM if you are going with high availability rack or real application cluster or rack one node. So currently I am going with the standard standalone database installation. So I'll just select the file system. I'll not go with the ASM. So I'll just select file system storage. So if you select the first option, database file system location from the template. So this is kind of manual method of managing all the data files and naming convention and so on and forth. So this is like traditional way. So if you use a common location and then uh, give a particular I'll just go to user on app Oracle. So inside that it will create I'll just give it user and app Oracle. So all the data files will be placed under this user and app Oracle, and all the naming convention has to be managed manually. So Oracle will not give any standard naming convention if you use this common file location. Other than common file location, if you use Oracle managed file system and then just give the path location where all the naming convention, it will be like uh, OMF, Oracle Managed Files. So all the naming convention will be taken care by Oracle, and then there will be standard unique binaries or unique alphanumeric characters should be used for all the files like systems, SOCs, all the data files. In fact, so what I'll do, I'll go ahead with the Oracle Managed File System. I'll just give the location. Then if you want to check your redo log and control log multiplexing, click on this one, and you can give the destination, like how many multiplex you want, like 2 copies, 3 copies, 4 copies, select it. But right now I'll go with the default option. And then if you want to go click on this file location variables, it will say what is base, what is Oracle home, unique name, DB name, SID. This all already we given it, right? Then I'll just go with the next. And then if you want to go with FRA, fast recovery, like FRA is kind of for it is used for your uh, taking the whenever you take a backup, automatically it go to FRA. Whenever your archologs are generated, it will go to FRA. FRA is used for many purposes. So if you want to go for FRA creation, just go with. So I'll go with the default FRA creation, and then if you want to enable archologging, you just click on this one, archolog mode or no archolog mode, like two modes of the Oracle database, right? So I'll right now I will just leave as it is. I'll not enable the archolog mode. I'll just go ahead with this default option. So if you want to create a sample schema, so I want a sample schema to be created like Scott, HR and others, because for testing purpose I'll just click. And if you want to run any custom script, you just select the custom script, and then that will be taken care, like pre and post custom scripts. So right now I don't have any custom script. I'll just leave as it is. Click next. So memory management, like default it has taken 795 MB, so I'll just go with 795 MB. Typically 795 MB. Use automatic memory management. So if you use automatic memory management like SGA, PGA, everything will be managed by Oracle. So if you don't select it, you have to specify manually. So I'll just use memory management and sizing. Okay, so this is processor default. So if you want to increase processor size, you can increase. If you want to go with the default, go with the default. So this block is default will take, and this is the default character set. I'll go with that default character set. And connection mode I dedicated as shared server, so anything you can go shared server. If you want, you have to enable what is shared server. If you want to go with dedicated, I'll just go with the dedicated as like it's a testing purpose. On the if you click on this one, this whatever parameter enabled, whatever you set so far, everything will be listed out here. If you want to save this file, you can save it, or else just leave as it is. Click on next. So just verify whatever you use. Control file, so data files, system sysauts, undo, user, temp, example, and redo log group 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is just a summary whatever you did so far. So I'll click on the next. Okay, create database. So if you want to save the database templates, I told you, right? See, during when we launch this screen, there is a template option. When you creating, if you select a template and then select the template, you can create a template without installing the database. So I want to create this template. I'll just select the template. And you want to generate the script. I want to generate script, so I'll just create generate script also. So after selecting this, just click on finish. If you want to save this HTML file, I will save this HTML file, and I will save it here. User and app Oracle. Okay. Okay. See here. Template created. The template dev.db create completed. And then database creation script. This will generate the database script. See, now you can see, right? Database script is successfully created. Okay, so now once the database script is created, it will start with the actual memory target is too small. Okay, so process system parameter. Okay, what I'll do, this is a good observation. So what it says, you selected automatic memory management, and then you default went ahead with the 750 MB memory. So that 750 MB memory is not enough. At least it is saying at least it needs 10 12 MB. So I'll just abort it, then click OK, and then I'll go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Go back. Okay, so I'll just go forward again. DB character enterprise manager, find next. Okay, I'll go with the same password. Next, next, next. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll give 1024 1 GB of RAM. Next, like remaining, I'll go with as it is. Next, finish. Save the file. Click OK. Want already those templates and scripts are created. Now it is proceeding. Memory target is not supported on the system. Okay, so this is interesting. Let me troubleshoot what exactly the issue now. So what I'll do right now, about okay, so what I'll do, I'll just remove this automatic memory management, and I'll go with the manual memory management. So just I given 1 GB of memory. I'll just go with next as it is. Okay. create template this time. Script, okay, just finish it. Template already there. Okay, yes, replace it. Save HTML. I will save this HTML. Okay, and then template created, and database creation script it will create a script. Okay, script is created. Specified value of SGA is too small. It's okay. About I'll just go back again. It is pretty interesting, right? So um, okay, so what I'll do, I'll go with memory management, and then I'll go with 20. I'll just give 2000. Let's see this time. So I given pretty good. Using automatic memory management requires 19 available device HM. Currently device HM is 992 MB. If you want to automatic memory management, you should be either up the space. Okay, this is pretty good. Let's see how to resolve this issue. Okay, so for that error message, that dev SHM requires minimum 200 GB. So for that, what I'll do, I have to edit FS tab. Where the dev SHM? Go to dev SHM. So and then it has a default value. What I'll do, I will just default once again dev SHM comma. I'll mention the size as a 2G. Then I'll save it. So if I finish temp fs is this one. Okay, to take that into effect, so I need to run remount command. df-h. I can see 2 GB now, right? So what I'll do, okay, I'm not sure whether if I can continue with this one or I need to relaunch. Let's see, relaunch this GUI screen next. Finish. Close. Okay, yeah. I hope it is proceeding with the installation. So the issue was uh, that was one of the prerequisites. Uh, you need to make sure that your swap space is correctly set, temp fs is correctly set, and ulimit is correctly set, and the open sh file are correctly set, and for Oracle the files soft and hard under limit.config file should be set to unlimited, or as per Oracle standards you need to set. There are certain prerequisites that need to be set before installing your Oracle Home or any Oracle database. So I have not covered in this session. So what I'll do, I will come up with all those what are the prerequisite sets, and then I will cover in one of the new session. So until then, try to manage it by solving whenever you hit into issues. So pretty soon I will come up with the new topic on the prerequisites and postrequisites for the Oracle Home and then the database installation. So right now installation is going on, so it will take a couple of minutes. So let's we'll come back after a few minutes, and then we'll see how the progress. Okay, so it has a couple of steps it has to do internally. So copying database files are done, and creating and starting Oracle instance. So, okay, now data files are copied, and then it is starting the instance now. So once the instance started, it will do database creation. So there is a other way of monitoring. So once okay, I'll just go ahead. There is a log file, you can always monitor it, and then you will get to know what is internally it is doing and what is happening. admin CFGFG tools, CFGFG tools, and DBCA, DevDB, and okay. So currently it is doing creating those sample schemas. Just always keep monitoring this one. This example schema is completed, and then clone DB is in progress now. There's a couple of files. Clone DB creating. Okay, see, you can see right, all these log files is updating. Views, multiplied views, grants. It will do a lot of things internally. So you have to go through all these log files once the database installation done, so that you will understand what exactly the database creation will do internally. So now see, database is closed, and it means database creation is done and it is shut down, and then it will restart again. So if I recheck once again, see, it will create init files, and it will create rman delete files, rman restore script, and control file, and trace file, init temp files, and example import it will do, and clone db it will do. It will do a lot of things, in fact. So if you go through all these logs in detail, you will see all this, and now see all this, the background process it started. And yeah, now 74% complete. Database instance started, and now completing database creation. Database creation it is doing now. All this background process started, and now it's creating the data files. And if I go and go ahead and check, okay, data files, right? So I'll just go ahead with Oracle base DB, and then okay, I think it got created. I closed it by default. I'll just go ahead and I'll go ahead and check back that post creation. Yeah, database mounted and database open. So it's pretty cool, right? So all the log files, if you go through, you'll understand what at what, and when phase and what time it took, and what are the sequence of operation it has done. See, init file, rman restore file, clone restore command, and make a backup of this, and clone creation, post script, and then account creation, and then trace and post db creation. So it has many sequence of steps it will do in backend, but in the front end it will just just we will see the process steps, how many steps it will do, we will see only. But once you analyze these log files, you will get to know what exactly backend it is going to do it. So that's pretty much. So I'll just verify the instance. Yeah, the database is up and running. So I'll just try to connect. Yeah, okay, DevDB is right. So fine. So that's it. This is how we will create a database in GUI mode. In next session, I will explain how to create database manually, uh, using silent mode or using the script